Wave 5 is officially live for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and today I went through all of the brand new tracks to look for any shortcut that I could possibly find to show off for you guys. So yes, we're going through both the Feather Cup and the Cherry Cup, looking at all 8 brand new tracks and finding any shortcuts possible. So of course, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, stop what you're doing, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Most of you are watching this video right now and are still not subscribed. If this helped you out at all, let's see how many people we can get to subscribe from this one video. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and let's jump into the brand new tracks in Wave 5. First, starting off with Athens Dash, you'll want to veer off to the left side of the first ramp in the beginning of the track, where you'll see the giant pillars. You can actually jump on top of these and do tricks off of them to jump down to the small square area where you'll make a left turn. You'll then come up upon a grass area where you can make a quick left turn through the grass with the mushroom in order to skip the long U-turn. Towards the ends of the second and third lap, you can actually use a mushroom to dash through some cardboard cutouts of piranha plants in order to hit a speed boost to get a bit of a shortcut. On the glider section, you can do some quick tricks off the ends of the rooftops. Towards the end of the race, you'll see a cave off to your left. You can actually go through here by just doing a quick bunny hop, and you don't even need to burn a mushroom if you don't want to, if you're going fast enough. And here's a couple more grass shortcuts you can use with mushrooms. As you're falling off the top of the awning towards the second lap, you can actually start drifting towards the right, and you can dash through the grass real quick by the tree. The same thing goes for that last lap. As you go through the pillars, hit a sharp left turn and you can go through the grass and mud with the mushroom straight into the boost ramp. Daisy Cruiser has 2 real shortcuts that you can hit. The first one is by the swimming pool in the beginning. If you hug the right side instead of going left, you can actually drift straight into the water and pop out a lot faster. And if you're really good, you can actually drift around the side and do a little bump off the side wall in order to boost yourself forward without even going into the water, staying on the outside of the pool, which is harder to do, but it is a little bit faster. This part, I don't know if it's much of a shortcut as it is an alternate path. You can drop down into the water section to the right where you'll go through some boost underwater and shoot out of a pipe. Moonview Highway also has about 2 shortcuts. The first one, you can go up on the left cliff in order to hit a small ramp without using any type of boost at all, and if you want to, you'll probably go off a lot faster. Or you can go off the second cliff that's off to the right and pop up on that one, also using a mushroom, but that one has a boost pad at the end of it. The rest of the track is just really a straight shot through the city, but you can use some mushrooms when you can to kind of jump off the side of the cliffs or just go through some grass patches when you see them. And for the last track of the Feather Cup with Squeaky Clean Sprint, there are tons of shortcuts. The first one, you can see some sponges on the left side of the bathtub as you jump off the ramp. Stay on the left side of the ramp and you will land on these sponges, very similar to the same thing as Athens. Staying on that left side of the ramp, you'll do some boost before you go down in the drain. Once you're down in the drain, there's a ring that you can actually dash through with the mushroom through a patch of grass down there. Funny enough, but you can also dash through some soap that you'll find on the floor by just using a mushroom through it right beside the fan, where you'll hit a boost in order to glide in the air. Now you'll enter a section where you'll go underneath a table and you can use another mushroom to hit the U-turn off of the ribbon and towels that are on the road and just completely skip that by going over the carpet part. The toilet will randomly shoot up a water geyser after a while, and you can use this to boost to the top portion of the table, where it will take you to an alternate path, giving you 3 options to take after you hit that boost, which is very interesting. There's 2 on the bottom and 1 on the top right. The bottom left will take you off of some type of ticket right by the sink. You have to hit it cleanly or you'll fall off like I did. Second path is you can fall down. Instead of going left on that ticket, you'll go right by a notebook and you'll bounce off of a boost pad and some leaves from a nearby plant. The third path, you can fly all the way up to the top right where you'll get to the top of a table, and you can actually use some boost pads off of another ticket, bouncing you off of a bouncy mushroom as well. There's even more alternate things you can do if you don't want to take any of those paths. You can do tricks off of the coins on top of the green pump soap or the coins on top of the faucet in the sink as well. So there's a lot of options here. Now moving on to the Cherry Cup. You'll start off with LA laps, and there's lots of mushroom boost shortcuts you can take off the very beginning. You can boost through the sand on the first turn, and then through the sand underneath the bridge, and then through a third batch of sand as well, right after it. Then right after you go over the baseball diamond, you'll have another bridge that you can boost through the grass section underneath it towards the left. Then you'll come up on an oil field. Now in this oil field you can choose to go through 3 different paths, a left, middle, and right path. And you can actually use mushrooms through any of the dirt or mud sections, so really use them how you please. But at the end of this section there is a boost ramp which you'll need a mushroom in order to hit, unless you're really good and maybe you slide hop into it or something. I'm not quite sure if that's possible, but use a mushroom in order to hit this boost for sure, and you'll glide through a ring, or really 2 rings for extra boost there. Then at the very end you'll see 2 patches of grass where you can just hold 1 drift through both of them and use 2 mushrooms. Sunset Wilds may look pretty basic, but there's some serious shortcuts that you can hit. Just like Mario Circuit 3, you can use mushrooms to dash through pretty much any parts with sand. Right away, as soon as you start with a mushroom, you can actually dash through the cactus and the blocks as well. Now you'll see a lot of sections where there's a cactus and block where you can dash right between both of them. You'll just have to hug these turns very tight to make sure you get the maximum potential out of them. But you'll have 3 right in front of you as soon as you start, and yep, there's even a 4th one right after the boost section in the mud. You can turn right in order to cut through there as well. But as soon as you cut through there, you'll notice an area with tents. If you go into the sand behind the tents to the left, you'll notice a small wooden ramp that you can actually hit, and yet again another quick area where you can dash through the sand. And then if you have mushrooms at the very end, when you go over that second ramp, hug the left side and jump into the desert where you can actually use mushrooms to dash through the sand and beat your opponents. Koopa Cape only has a couple of shortcuts, and they pretty much stay the same from the original version on the Wii. You'll have a first section where you can dash straight through the grass with a mushroom, and you can technically use one on the big U-turn if you're super quick and have a cart with great handling, but it's very difficult. And then as you're going down the river section, you'll want to use a dash mushroom through the grass area beside the tree, and then another one beside the red shell. You can once again use the waterfall at the end to your advantage. One thing I like to do is start my drift at the end of the ramp and just go straight into the waterfall, as it actually gives you slight speed going through it compared to going on the outside. If you want to do this faster and better, however, do a trick as you're drifting at the end. You'll go straight into the waterfall, slinging you around the bend. And finally, the last track we have of the Cherry Cup and this wave is Vancouver Velocity, my personal favorite city track. I just love the music, so I'm a little biased, I'm sorry. But the first thing you'll see is a cone right in front of an obvious grass area where you can dash straight through with a mushroom. But this one isn't quite so obvious. Right when you get through the pond area by the park, you can actually cut through the trees instead of following the path that will take you straight to the boost pass. Just make sure you don't fall into the pond, as it will respawn you, and hug the tree to the right a little bit to make sure you hit that boost pass on your way out. Just a couple more. As you're going down into the tunnel, you'll see a bumpy area on the road, which you will obviously slow down if you drive on it without a mushroom, but if you use 2 mushrooms, you can boost all the way out the tunnel a lot faster, taking that section on the left. And you'll see one more grass area that you can boost through right at the end, and it will be marked with a cone right beside a fire hydrant and a light pole that you can dash straight through in order to get the last second win over your opponent. And those are all the shortcuts in Wave 5 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pass. Let me know if I missed any, or if there's any extra ones that you guys have found down below, and thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Nintendo in general, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.